Hello, hello. Welcome to this early day. I'm so excited that you are joining me today. Today we are going to dive in and talk about, are you just selling products or are you actually building a brand? And this is so important because sometimes we get so caught up in selling our products and services that we forget or don't even realize that we're not even building a brand. So we're going to go and talk and dive in on this morning. I'm pretty interactive and I love to have feedback. So I'm going to be asking questions and I would love for you to respond. If you're a replay watcher, put hashtag team replay and we're going to go ahead and dive in. Okay, so first, let me tell you who I am. I am Andrea Thomas, and what I do is I help you get more sales for your physical products online. And I help you do that in several different ways. And then also I want to make sure that you're doing this with high volume sales as well. Because if you know about building a business of any sort, selling your product in one way, it's going to get you only so far. So we want to make sure that you're selling your products in multiple ways and then also doing so with high volume sales. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and dive in a little bit about me. I am of course, Andrea Thomas, but I have 5 kids. I'm also an entrepreneur with a product-based business called Scratch Me Not. And I'm so excited to talk about all the things we're going to talk about today. So instead of me being repetitive, let's go ahead and dive in. Okay. So the foundation of any business is, what are you selling, right? So the key thing is just foundation. What products are you selling? And many of you are already selling your products online. And you probably already have your own Shopify account, Etsy, whatever the case may be. You have your main way of selling your products. And so you're doing well selling them, but is your pricing helping you be profitable? This is one of the key things. Like, we want to make sure this foundation is solid, because before I introduce the other ways that you can increase your sales, build your brand, expand your footprint and movement, we want to make sure that your foundation is set. So your pricing is such a key way to make sure that you're profitable from jump. So I always tell my clients that if you're going to be manufacturing a product or sourcing a product or even private labeling a product, how are you going to be selling this? Are you going to be going directly to the consumer, or are you going to be trying to sell this to other stores? Because this impacts your pricing strategy. So rule of thumb is we want to make sure that you get as much profit as possible with a 4x factor. So I like to use simple numbers, and that's going to be just $1. So let's say it took you $1 to source this product or make this product, and you want to make sure that you can sell this product in several different ways, or you have designed and made your own product and you want to make sure that you get the most profit as possible. So outside of doing your market research to determine, if your customers really truly buy it, what are your competitors and all of that, we want to make sure that just the foundation is set with your pricing. So if you want to sell directly to consumer, a 4x factor. So if it took you $1 to make it, make sure that you sell it for at least $4, okay? And then that way, if a company comes to you and they say, hey, I love your product, I want to sell it on my website, I want to sell it in my store, you can wholesale it at 50% off the retail price, which is going to be $2. So no matter how you sell it, you are at least making 100% profit off of your product. If you sell it to a wholesaler or another store or business entity, you have made 100% ROI. And then if you sell it directly to the consumer, you are creating a $3 in profit. And so this is allowing you for several reasons to be profitable. One, you're going to be able to take care of all of your business expenses. We all know we have business expenses. We try to keep them as low as possible, but part of that money is to take care of business expenses. Another part of that is to repurchase what you've already bought, to replenish it once your customers purchase it. So that is another portion of that profit. And then also you want to pay yourself. You want to pay yourself, pay people that you need to help get graphics done, things of that nature. And so that's a portion of your product. So many times when people price their products, they're pricing them incorrectly because they're thinking about the consumer only. They're like, oh, I don't know if this price is going to be enough. I don't know if they're going to really want to pay for this at this price point, and not look at the business side, which is how am I going to keep my business flowing? Now, the key difference between selling on your selling directly to consumer versus selling to a wholesaler is bulk. Okay, so if you're selling directly to a wholesaler, you have a minimum amount that they have to purchase to be considered bulk. And so this is, and then they have their own expenses as well. So not only are they going to purchase from you at a lower price, they're going to be purchasing in bulk. So you get to see a larger amount of money at one time. But we're giving them that discount because they have their own expenses, they have to take care of shipping and so on and so on. So we want to make sure that they have their own margins to sell as well. Okay, so that is just a pretty simple layout of how to set up your pricing. Thinking about your pricing, your business model. Your business model itself, how are you going to be selling your products? That affects your pricing. Now, if you're a drop shipper or if you are doing affiliates and things of that nature, there's a different pricing strategy for that, but you want to make sure that you are taking price in consideration. Okay, so another thing when building the foundation of your sales, of your product-based business, we want to make sure that you have traffic flowing through. So some people are selling strictly on social media. Some people are sending people to their website. However you are creating sales, we want to make sure that this is the right traffic. I don't know how many times a client comes to me and they say, I have all this traffic, but my conversion rates are terrible. And so the average conversion rate for e-commerce is around 3%. So if you're doing about 3%, you're pretty much on target depending on your market. Now, of course, we want to increase that as much as possible. But one of the ways to do that is the quality of your traffic. The quality of your traffic makes a big difference. So usually when you see these posts about, hey, what are you selling? Or drop a post to your shop, things of that nature. That's great to get traffic, but is it the right traffic? So we have to turn on our filter to figure out what exactly is going to get me the best type of person on my website or on my post so that they can create that sale. Okay, so with that, we are going to focus on who is your ideal target audience, okay? So who's your ideal customer? When you think about that person, when you think about how they shop, where they are on social media, where they are on the web, on the internet, you wanna make sure that you are targeting those people. So if it is, I like to use an example of tissue. Sometimes people say that the market is overcrowded, it's oversaturated, so I can't sell my product. But yet there are different tissue companies all the time coming out and they're selling just plain tissue. So how is it that they have room in the market to sell a product? And it's simply because they know their audience. So if you are selling a selling tissue and it is let's say it's a low quality, let's say it's one ply tissue, okay? Now, a mom of 2 kids with a family, she may not want that one ply. So if you are dropping this link into a mom group, chances are you're gonna get some great traffic because they're like, oh, tissue, blah, 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 blah. But when they get there and they see, okay, this was one ply, this is not really what we use. I want mine to be quilted and luxury and fluffy because this is the only time I get a chance to be alone without little fingers crawling under the door to say, mommy, mommy, mommy. So she wants to just have a moment of peace and sanity, and she doesn't want her fingers to go through the tissue, okay? So on the other side, this tissue company who is selling one ply, moms may not be their target audience, but you know who may be? Traveling men. Men who travel abroad, men who are always on the go, who are backpackers, and they want the lightest, simplest, economical. They don't care about tissue per se. They don't care about, you know, whether it's quilted, whether it's fluffy, whether it's 3-ply, whatever. What they want to make sure is that it's lightweight, that it's compact, that they can travel wherever they go, and even if they want to travel and it fits into their backpack. So now they have created a niche specifically for this type of product. So when they drop their link in a place where there are backpackers, men who travel on the go, it aligns with their brand. And so now when they have traffic come to their website, the likelihood of converting them to an actual customer increases because the company knew exactly who they were targeting. So the traffic matters. And traffic, when I think about traffic, I think about who do I really want to come to the website to purchase? Okay, so if you are just hopping on, we are just tackling the foundation of making sure that your product-based business is set for success from the beginning. So if you're already selling products, you can just go through this checklist and just make sure that you can just check off each and every one of them. I got the right traffic, I got the right pricing, etc. And I'm building up to create the right conversions. Now, when you're talking about conversions, you also think about your website. Your website is an awesome place to take someone from simply browsing to actually purchasing your product. And many times people think about converting to, as soon as they come to my website, they are going to buy my product in that same instance. And that may not be the case. So on your website, make sure that you have pixels if you are going to do Facebook ads or ads of any sort. Make sure that you're driving the right customers to your website, and then know that we are living in a day and age where people have shiny object syndrome left and right. So focus is down tremendously. So therefore, know that it's going to take 7 to 21 times for a person to see your brand to actually purchase a product. And you can decrease that with your know, like, trust factor. How frequently are you creating a conversation with your community? How often are you talking about selling a product versus giving them value that surrounds the topics of your ideal customer? Okay, so with that, while you're doing this, while you're building this community, you are also building your influence. And this is going to come in later when we dive into the next two portions of this full strategy of, are you just selling a product or are you actually building a business? So I am so excited because this is so fun for me. Okay. So now that you are building your community, we are now focused on your customer relationship. So this is where it falls into place of, making sure that you're answering emails in a timely fashion, making sure that you are loving on your customers, giving them content and value, making sure that you are treating your 3 types of customers very, very differently, but yet with the same amount of love. So we have visitors who have never purchased before. We have first-time customers, we have repeat customers, okay? So those are 3 types of customers we need to cater to. Oftentimes, product-based business especially, maybe even service-based, we're so focused on the next new client that we actually forget about those who are holding up the business and who have purchased from us in the past. So many times with your email marketing campaign, you want to make sure that you segment those 3 types of customers so you can nurture them differently and turn those visitors into customers and turn those customers into repeat customers and rinse and repeat. It's still that 80-20 rule. So 80% of your sales comes from 20% of your customers, and that's repeat customers. So we want to make sure that you're not forgetting about them along the way. Okay, so if you are here with me live, even if you're catching the replay, go ahead and type a 1 if you have these foundations in place for your business already. If you're selling products online and you're like, okay, the foundation I got checked off, that's a 1. Type a 2 if you are like, you know what, I think I got some of it, but I'm not quite sure. I need to go back and check a couple of things, but I think I'm on the right track. So that's number 2. Number 3 is, I got to start here. This is the foundation, is where I need to go ahead and just make sure that I have all these things in place. Just go ahead and type a 1, a 2, or a 3. I would love to know. 1, you have all these items in place. 2, you have a few of them, some of them not really. And 3, you are in the process of laying the foundation of your business. Okay, so now I'm going to give this Facebook a little bit of time to, let's see, I'm trying to see if I have any comments. Hey, okay, I have a number 2. Okay, so some of those things are checked off. some of those things aren't, yay, I'm happy this is helpful for you. Continue to type a 1, 2, or a 3, depending if you have all these things in place. 2, you have some but not all, and 3, you are setting the foundation. You have you are very new to this, and you are just kind of figuring this out as we go. Okay, so now we're gonna hop in. Thanks, Jewel. Thanks, Carol, for hopping on and giving me your answers. For number 2, thanks, Monica and Abalor and Tara for hopping on as well. I'll continue shouting people out as you hop on. Okay, so with this, I talk really fast. I'm really excited. This is like my love, like e-commerce, selling products is what I do. So if I'm talking too fast or you missed something, just hop in the comments. I will circle back. Okay, so now that you have the foundation in place, now that we know that, okay, I'm selling products, I know where my customers are, I know how to make sure I got the right traffic coming to my website, I know how to look at my conversions and figure out, okay, you know, if 1,000 people come to my website and 3 are purchasing, how to do my conversion rates. Actually, we didn't go over that. We will go over that really quickly. Okay, so if you have, look at your website conversion in the back of your e-commerce website, or if you're a service based and you're hopping on, look at your sales rate, okay? You should see the number of people who have purchased, let's say yesterday, and the number of people that have visited. Okay, so you take the number of people who have purchased, divide that by the number of people who have visited, and you will see your conversion rate. Some platforms like Shopify, BigCommerce, they do those conversions for you. But if you're curious and you want to do it yourself, you now know a quick, easy formula to do so. Okay, and so now you also know about building your influence and your customer relationships. So now we're gonna hop into, now that we have the foundation, we're gonna hop into what I like to call is selling your products in multiple ways, okay? So typically, when it comes to anyone, you have a main way that you sell your products. Typically it's website. You drive traffic to your website, and that's where you get the bulk of your sales. Some people are straight social media, where they are all about, hey, DM me if you want this product, or message me if you want this, that, and the other, and they have their flow. But typically you have one way to do it that brings in the most money. Now, the art of building an e-commerce platform or a business of any sort is to make sure that you're selling that same product in several different ways. So I will give an example. And there's so many ways to play with this. So I won't go down too many rabbit trail holes, but I'll give you a couple of examples. There was a hair care company who came out with this cream, and it is in this huge container, because typically when you get, especially if you have curly hair, if you have to go through a lot of product. Because you're trying to keep those curls moisturized, trying to keep them in place and not frizzy, and so on and so forth. So they tapped into those pain points, and they said, you know what? We're going to create a product that is going to tackle all these 3 areas: moisturizing, making sure the frizz is under control, and keeping those curls tight and right, okay? So instead of buying 3 different products, you know, you would buy your gel, you would buy your leave-in conditioner, you would buy some kind of cream of some sort to condition and moisturize it. They put it all into one, and they made this container like 3 times as big, okay? And the price matched accordingly, because it was like I think it was like $45 for one container of this cream, this magical cream, okay? So with that, they were like, okay, well, we're going to make sure that we sell this product in several different ways. So if you ever go to a website, like a SaaS website, like a service as a software as a service product, right? Like a BigCommerce or Shopify or some app. They'll always give you 3 options, and it'll be good, better, best. But they'll probably switch the orientation to good, best, better, okay? And you'll have to choose between what you want. Now, of course, the best is going to be the most expensive, the good is going to be the least expensive, and the better is going to be in between, okay? So they did the same thing. They said, you know what, we only have one product, but how are we going to sell this in several different ways? Well, we're going to actually bundle them, and we're going to do a good, better, best. And so they played around with this, and they had this amazing looking site. And then they got to this section, and it turns like an infomercial. And it had good, better, best. And so you could choose whether you wanted 1, 2, or 3 of the products. And of course, you got a little discount depending on which one you chose. Now, here's the fun part, okay? Now, this product is retail value like $67, but they're marketing it as, you know, they slash the 67, they put 45 for one of them, and then they put like 2 of them for X amount, and they put 3 of them for X amount. And they show you the real price, and then they show you the discounted price because you're their special customer and you got here through Facebook or whatever ad. So take a lot of notes here because it's all about positioning. One, they tapped into the pain point. They said, this is going to be a product that is 3-in-1. It's going to tackle all these 3 pain points, and you're going to get not just a little container of each, you're going to get a large container of it. Now, when you hop on the website, you have an option. Why run out of this stuff? You can get 1, you can get 2, you can get 3. And on top of that, I know you're cost conscious and you're probably calculating all this up. And so I'm going to show you the retail price, and I'm going to show you the discounted price because you're our special customer. So right there, they took one product and they made sure they're selling it in several different ways to make sure in that aspect. Now, another aspect is, like as I mentioned earlier, you can sell this product where you're selling, okay, I'm going straight to my website. I'm going to sell through social media. I'm going to sell through a wholesaler as well. And that's another way that you can combine selling in different ways. You can also say, you know what? I want to make sure that I'm using other people's audiences. So I'm going to sell on third-party platforms like an Etsy or like an Amazon or eBay, whatever the case may be. So these are different ways that you are going to be selling your products to, one, increase your profitability. Now, how many of you who have been selling online for any amount of time have had website crashes, or have had issues with Etsy or Amazon, or who have had random things occur to where you weren't able to sell through your main platform? Type of 1 if that's a yes, type of 2 for thank goodness that hasn't happened to me. The reason why I asked that is because, well, let me wait for a couple of answers. Okay. The reason why I asked that is because, like I said, everyone has a main way that they create the most of their sales. But if that main way of selling something ever happens to it, it messes up your revenue, your income for the day. So this is why we diversify how we sell our products, because 1, Amazon can shut you down at any moment. Etsy could say, I don't like you today. Your website could have IT issues. And so if anything ever happens to one of your streams, you have other streams coming in to where it gives you grace and time to fix those issues while you still have money flowing in, okay? Because none of us love the idea of working so hard to build a website just to have the checkout page crash and we're not able to create sales, okay? None of us love having our main source of revenue coming from Facebook, and then Facebook puts you in Facebook jail or shuts down your account because of some people who are complaining about your page or whatever the case may be. Like, none of us love that. So what do? We insure ourselves. We make sure that we have multiple streams of income flowing in place to where we can continue to create sales. Now, I dropped in the post that one of my favorite ways to triple your product sales each month. And so definitely hop on that, because this is another way to expedite your sales and make sure that you are creating a solid stream of revenue and building up other people's customers. I told you I'm a mom of 5. 1 second. 1 second. Where are you going? See, this is what happened. I'm in the flow, I'm in the zone, and then babies come in. She's not what you watch a sneaky show. What, you want to say hi to everybody?
The girl show.
Oh.
The sneaky girl show.
Okay, well, tell her Mommy said you can watch the sneaky girl show, okay? Say, Mommy said I can watch it. Thank you. Okay, so now we're back. Okay, so this may happen several times. I'm sorry. I tried to lock the door, but then they yell louder. So this time we'll keep it open. We'll see how it flows. But it's going to be it's going to be short because I'm almost done. Okay, so now that you're selling your product in several different ways, type a yes, selling my product in different ways. Type a, just so I know. When I circle back, I'll know what's happening. So A, I'm already selling my products in several different ways. B, I'm selling my products in a couple of ways, but I could add more. And C, I haven't even got that far yet. So type a A if you're selling your products in several different ways already. B, if you're doing it in a couple of ways, but you can add more. And C, I haven't got that far yet, okay? So just let me know in the comments where you are, and I will always circle back if there's any questions. Okay, so now we have selling our products in several different ways down. We have our foundation down. And so the original question was, are you just selling products, or are you actually building a brand? And this last part is the part that helps you decide if you're actually doing that. Because many people can build solid brands selling products, but there has to be a lot of diversification in the process. So if you think about like Amazon started off with selling books only. Okay, that was their thing. They wanted to sell books only. But as they built that and they got that foundation down, they're like, okay, you know what? I need to sell in several different ways. So they added on memberships. They added on products. They added on so many different ways for you to spend money on them. So many of us are probably already spending at least 2 different ways on selling product. 2 different ways. We're sending money to Amazon in at least 2 different ways. And so they realize that, you know what, I've reached a benchmark selling this one product or selling this one way. Now I'm going to diversify to increase my sales that much more. And do you know that on Black Friday, they sold, that platform did over $1 billion in sales on Black Friday alone, okay? So imagine how much they're doing the whole year for product selling on Amazon. Now get this, their membership site, their membership portion, all their membership things that they're doing is selling more than all the products on Amazon combined, okay? So that was a strategic move on their behalf. So I'm gonna ask you the same question. Are you selling beyond your products? So when you're building a brand, of course we wanna make sure we have those foundations set. We wanna make sure that we're already creating sales, getting those sales in. We wanna make sure that we're selling them in several different ways, but we also want to make sure that we're selling beyond the products themselves. And so what do I mean about that? I mean collaborations. I mean where since you have taken the time to build your influence, you have a community, how else can you create profit for your business outside of just selling the same products over and over again? Now, mind you, don't stop. But we just want to make sure that we're continuing to add to it. So this involves sponsorships. This involves partnerships. This involves maybe you're going to be speaking and doing affiliate programs. Who knows what that's going to entail? But we have to have foresight now on what we're wanting to create in the future, so we can begin laying the footsteps. Begin laying the footprint now. Begin implementing the steps now. Now, if you look at bloggers, for instance, they start off blogging something that they love, and then they're like, okay, you know what, my audience is building, let me go ahead and add in and become an affiliate for several different things. Maybe they're an Amazon affiliate, maybe they are affiliate for a different program or a course or whatever the nature may be, and they start to implement links into their mini blog posts, and they let people know that, hey, I am an affiliate to so on and so forth. I received an organic carrot or some pennies for every link that you click and may purchase from. And so they're understanding the art of making sure they're selling beyond themselves. Okay, they're connecting themselves to other influencers. They're collaborating. And then as they build their audience, they're like, you know what, I can make my own course. I can become a speaker. I can do my own book deal. I can, and the list goes on, because they got their foundation in place. They're starting to make some sales, and now they're like, how can I take this to the next level? Now, the whole reason why I wanted to go through these 3 areas, which is your foundation, selling in several different ways, and selling beyond your products, is because you are building a brand. And when you are building a brand, you have to have some sort of exit strategy. So because we don't live infinitely, and so one day we're going to decide to, hey, I want to move on. I want to do something different. I want to sell this brand, this business. Or my kids are getting older. I want to pass this business on to them. They seem interested in it. They want this. They want to grow. They want to take this business to the next level. Or you may say, I want to partner with someone. I want to have a partner come in and help me take this business to the next level. Now, in order to get the biggest dollar for your time and energy, all those months and years that you have placed into this business, the easiest way to get your biggest dollar is not to say, hey, I've spent 5 years building this brand. We could do over 100,000 in sales every month, or we do 100,000 in sales a year, whatever the case may be. And they're like, okay, great. But then when it's time to get to the contracts, get to the table, you're like, okay, I make all my sales online on this website, and that's awesome. And so then they'll start to be like, okay, well, do we really want to pay you that much for that? Maybe we want to lower it to 50,000, or maybe we want to lower it to 25,000, because honestly, we got to go through. We have to add more ways we can sell this product. We have to add more ways we're going to get money out of this, because honestly, if something happens to that, we don't our investment is gone. Or they may say, you know what? You may say, I have an audience of 100,000 people. But those 100,000 people, they aren't converting. Like, so when you look at your numbers, like, okay, oh my goodness, you have 100,000 people. Wow, wonderful. But you have a 0.01% conversion rate. So for every 100,000 people, only one person is purchasing. You're like, oh, okay, this is not the best. So when you sit down and you look at your assets, you're like, okay, how's my community doing? Are they engaged? Are they purchasing? How big are they? Is it a small community that's really engaged, highly engaged, and give me a high ROI, or is it a big audience where I'm getting the same thing, or is it a big audience where I'm not? That's one asset. Another asset is, okay, I'm selling my products on the website. How are the website sales doing? How's the traffic doing? Things of that nature. Then you go to, okay, now I have my third-party sellers. How's that going? So now when you come to the table and you're like, okay, I have a brand that is up for sale, or I have a brand that I want you to buy into. Here are my silos of assets, and here's how each one of them are doing. It makes your position that much more profitable because you set up yourself for success in advance. Are you following what I'm dropping here? I just want to make sure that you are seeing what I am putting down. Okay. So with that, in my Facebook group, I just challenged my group to say, you know what? 2018 was the year of setting your foundation, getting your sales aligned, making sure that you were hitting your 6 figures, all that good stuff, right? But 2019 is the year of visibility, the year of creating more assets, the year of making sure that you are selling your products in several different ways, and that you are making sure that you have silos of assets. You have profitability in every which direction, okay? Now, the reason why I broke this down into 3 different areas, because there's no reason to jump to selling your products in several different ways if you don't know what you're selling, or if you don't know, your audience yet, or if you don't have your foundation set. So that's why we went in proper order, because I want to make sure that you're building upon yourself. So if you are already at stage 2, then it's definitely time to hop on to stage 3. And you can do these things simultaneously as well, but I want to make sure that you at least see the flow. And then you see, I guess this is where my challenge comes in. So the challenge is, I want women of e-commerce to take their sales to the next level, to take sales by storm. Many times when I see e-commerce winners, it is, and that's when they're doing like $1 million a day, $1 million a year. You hear that 7 figures type thing. It is a lot of men. But now is the time where I feel like, you know what, women are already doing this. This is not new, but we need to be more visible, more known, and it needs to be more of us, so that those who decide to share their numbers, those who decide to talk to others about their e-commerce numbers, they are feeling like, okay, not only am I making 7 figures, I am making a profitable 7 figures. Not only am I doing X amount of sales, I am doing this much in sales. And then here's the big thing. When I started my business, Scratch Me Not, I wanted to make sure that I was impacting lives. And I knew that if I can get my product on children who are scratching and thumb sucking and hair pulling, that I would be fulfilled. I would feel like I have done my job, because I had a child who was scratching nonstop, and the level of insanity and lack of sleep was crazy. So I was like, if I can give this gift to someone else through my product, then I consider that success. And so that's my movement. Well, many of us have movements as well. And one of the fastest ways to grow your footprint of your movement is to get more sales, is to sell your products in several different ways, is to create value for your customers to come back again and again. So with that, if you feel like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm selling my product in several different ways, definitely get the freebie above, which is the bit.ly/1simpletweak. Each word, the first letter is capitalized, but the link is above or below or to the left or right, one of the two, one of the four. So I'll make sure that you got that under wraps. But if you're like, you know what, Andrea, I need this in my life. I need to make sure that my company sales goes to the next level. Reach out to me, message me. We can talk about that as well. But I want to make sure that we are taking our sales to the next level, because physical products is such an amazing thing to tap into, especially when we have a strategic plan in place. So I'm going to leave you with this challenge as well. If you were creating sales last year, how can you create 3 streams of revenue this year? 2 of them selling your products, 1 selling beyond your products. So with that, here comes number 2. With that, thanks for hopping on with me this morning. I'm gonna go ahead and have some kid time, probably do some hair, make some pancakes, all that fun stuff. And then we will chat soon. I hope you enjoyed. Leave me any comments below and I'll circle back to them. Thanks again, and we'll chat soon.
Mommy, can I watch on your phone?
Oh,